Hey everybody, this video is part of our full-length The Onside Kick podcast. You can find that on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes. You can pretty much find it anywhere, so we don't care where you listen. Just stick around and check it out.
And moving right along into our next topic, Mark, I mean, we talked about LA. Let's just move a little bit east. Let's go to the Denver Broncos, and Vance Joseph is the guy who is now the head leading guy with the Denver Broncos. John Elway's excited. He's more than happy. He's super excited that Vance Joseph is coming on to be the head coach. And the first thing I thought of with this, usually I ask you a question like, oh, here's how it is. I'm going to take this one first.
All right.
And the thing that I thought coming into this one was, okay, this was a team that Gary Kubiak, we didn't expect him to leave, but he did. And I looked at it and I went, this is a team going back to its roots. And by that, I mean, they went to a Super Bowl with Gary Kubiak. They won that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But before Gary Kubiak, they had John Fox. What kind of a coach is John Fox?
He loves his defense.
Defensive guy. And this is a team that this past season, the defense was good. The quarterback situation sucked. I'm not saying that Trevor Siemian sucks. I'm saying the situation sucked, and the defense couldn't carry this team kicking and screaming into the playoffs, especially with how good the Raiders and the Chargers both were, Chiefs were this season. And this was me saying, okay, I got you, John Elway. I got you. You want that defense to be feared again. This is what that move is. This move is, we want this defense to be back to what it was when we went to that first Super Bowl. Even when we went to that second Super Bowl and we just lit Cam Newton up. Lit him up. That's what we want. We're not going with an offensive guy. We're bringing a defensive guy in. A guy who I know that you have said you weren't a huge fan of the Dolphin defense this year.
I just think they were overrated.
But they've been well improved since Joseph has been there.
They have. I don't want to take anything away from the Miami Dolphins defense. I think they did a good job. They were one of the better defenses in the NFL.
Well, it helps when you have the dirtiest player in the NFL on your D-line.
It certainly does. Yeah, they had some really good pieces there, but they still gave up more points than they should have. And they still had trouble with elite offenses. That was the thing. I mean, you can be as good a defense as you want against average teams, but how good are you against the elite teams? And that's what the Denver Broncos were. And that's what they want Vance Joseph to bring them. I don't want to say bring them back to, because that defense just hasn't exactly gone away.
Well, fine-tune it.
Yeah.
To where it was, I'm going to say that Super Bowl that they beat Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that
because that's what that was. That was an elite offense that an elite defense beats.
And it was one of those things where I know that you're like, well, Ricky, that was when Gary Kubiak was the head coach, not John Fox. But that was Kubiak's first year. How much did Kubiak change that first year? Mm-hmm. Not a lot. That was still a John Fox influence.
He still couldn't even get his offense in there because he had Peyton Manning still.
And I mean, really, one guy I forgot to bring up in the Rams topic that I'll bring up now, really, Wade Phillips. Like, because of Wade Phillips probably leaving, the Broncos were probably like, we need to bring a guy who knows defense.
Well, here's my issue that I take with that part of it.
Thought Wade Phillips should have been the head coach?
No, I don't necessarily think Wade Phillips wants to be a head coach. I think he's already past that. But I don't see a reason why he had to leave. He's leaving because he knows...
Because he's going to for sure leave. Like, there's no talks of him coming back.
Well, I think that Vance Joseph is like, I'm open to Wade Phillips being here.
But Wade Phillips is not.
He's done.
Yeah.
But the thing...
He's talking to Washington. He's talking to the Rams.
I don't understand why... If I'm John Elway, the first thing I want to do is make sure Wade Phillips is still there. And then I want to get somebody to work with the offense. I talked about this last week. Your offense is what you're weak at. Your defense is great. You have a guy working your defense. Let him stay there. Let him continue doing that. He's not going to go anywhere because he doesn't want to be a head coach. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to get some young defensive coordinator who's going to probably look good because there's a lot of great players there, and Vance Joseph is a good defensive-minded guy. And then that young, and I don't say young necessarily, but that, that defensive coordinator who has probably not had that head coaching experience he's going to start being looked at by teams and he's going to get picked off and then you're getting another one. You had the perfect situation of a guy who was going to stay there and be good. You had that, which is rare to find in the NFL. I just don't think this is the best route that the Denver Broncos and John Elway could have taken.
Well, I mean, the best option that they could have taken was, I'm going to bring him up again, Kyle Shanahan.
Guy who still doesn't have a job.
Or if they went Matt Patricia, like those are two guys where it's one of those things where Patricia, the thing with him that was to me the make or break point
over Patricia.
The make or break point with Patricia is basically he's kind of the guy that they've entrusted with, okay, once Belichick leaves, it's the keys. You're the keys to the kingdom. You are the successor to Bill Belichick in the hoodie when Belichick decides to hang up the hoodie.
Which I don't get because it's not like the New England Patriots defense is very good.
It's a culture thing, I think. Just like in South Park, it's a Jersey thing. It's a culture thing. But to me, Kyle Shanahan was the real name where I was like, that's the guy I thought you were going to go with.
Yeah, I thought that would have made sense.
Especially with the quarterback situation that you have now, because Vance Joseph coming in, he's not the reason Ryan Tannehill had a good season this year.
Ryan Tannehill didn't have a good season this year.
Better season. The Dolphins actually were successful.
The Dolphins were successful a little bit in spite of Tannehill.
Successful, and even when the backup came in and Matt Moore, they still got to the playoffs, and that was because of Adam Gase. Mm-hmm. Like that, it had nothing to do with Vance Joseph. Now, Vance Joseph did some good things with that defense.
No, that defense did a lot, and I don't think we don't want to take that away.
I don't. I'm not trying to, but Adam Gase came in there, and the main reason why they went to the playoffs is because of the head coach coming in and the kind of culture that he set from day one. Now, Vance Joseph, can he set that culture in Denver? Great surprise.
I don't see why not.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. Like, Denver's the job where you don't have to come in, set your own culture. Yeah, you got to make tweaks because it's going to be your it's going to be your team facility as you being the head coach. But you don't have to come in there and go, okay, I got to reset everything. You've got vets on this team that know what they're doing. I mean, you look at offense, and you've got C.J. Anderson, you've got Demaryius Thomas, you have Emmanuel Sanders, you've got on defense, I mean, fucking Von Miller. Probably, if I'm being a little, overrated here maybe, but the best defensive player in the NFL.
Von Miller's amazing.
I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. But you have veterans on this team to where you don't have to come in and completely overhaul that locker room. Like, you're coming into a pretty solid
Basically,
team.
honestly, what you do is you come in and say, hey, 9-7, that's not bad, but not good enough for this team. And now we're going to do better. That's really what you come in and do.
You know what I'm coming in with? At day one, if I'm Vance Joseph, everyone's at their locker. I'm taking that Super Bowl trophy out of the case that the team has.
Throw it in the fucking trash.
Nope. Putting it on the table. Mm-hmm. I am putting it on the table and saying, you guys remember this? You guys remember this? Let's get back to this. Put it on the table. Like, that was the big thing when the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. The whole story with DeMarcus Ware, how he said that Kubiak did that or Von Miller, somebody did that, where they took one of the old Super Bowl trophies and put it on the table. And just seeing it there was like DeMarcus Ware talked about, I wanted to get that, wanted to get my first one, propelled them to that win. Now, it helped that the fucking Panthers didn't show up for that Super Bowl whatsoever, but that's what I do if I'm Vance Joseph. I take that Super Bowl trophy from, 2 years ago? I put it on the table, and I say, this is the goal, guys. I think we've got the team in this locker room to do this, and you get that attitude going right away and get that going 110%.
I'm just so interested to see now, knowing that they went the defensive route. So they're trying to bring the defense.
What's going to happen with the offense? Who do you bring in to be the offensive coordinator if you make a change?
And I think a big part is, Trevor Siemian did fine. Didn't do great, but he did fine. He did well enough to where you could trade him if you want to just skip to Paxton Lynch. If you want to say, let's go grab a Tony Romo, which is what I think that the Denver Broncos should do, is make that trade. But what are they going to do in that case? That's a big mystery here. What is this offense that Vance Joseph is going to want his team to have? How much control over that does he want? Or is he going to essentially let the new offensive coordinator, if he's new, or stick with the current situation?
And I just looked up Mike McCoy is the offensive coordinator. He returns.
He's back?
Yep.
Oh.
I just looked it up. Because I was looking up who their coordinator was this last year because I didn't know. Mike McCoy's it. So
Mike McCoy's back. So in that case,
Mark's like, news to me.
In that case, here's my thought. Okay. Do what Wade Phillips had. Just let him fucking do his thing.
Let McCoy
do his thing.
And McCoy is used to this team because he was there before he went to the Chargers.
Yeah. Just let him do his thing. Don't touch it. You focus on defense.
I mean, I can't,
Why not?
Will it work? Here's the thing.
I mean, you don't have to, completely ignore the offense.
But it's one of those
let
things
Mike McCoy do his thing.
Let him do, yeah. But the thing I'm thinking of is, do you have that much confidence in Mike McCoy like you would have in a Wade Phillips?
As an offensive coordinator,
because
I think so.
Let's put it this way. Mike McCoy, and this is not, of course, when we bring points up like this, we're not trying to take anything away from Mike McCoy. But let's see. He was the offensive coordinator in 2010 to 2002. I'm going to check really quickly to see when the
2012.
The Broncos, 2012. Thank you for that correction. But the Broncos kind of had a really star quarterback, if you guys don't know his name, in Peyton Manning, who... Let's see, what are the years on that one? So 2012 to 15. So McCoy's last year was the Peyton Manning. That last year, he did have a freaking amazing quarterback.
Yeah.
Before that was not as good.
A thing to think about, too, with that was Peyton Manning coming in, being the mystery that he was. Because
with the neck surgery.
Exactly. We were not sure what we were going to get out of him, and he came in hard. But I think we can't ignore...
Was Tim Tebow 2010? Was he the starting quarterback in 2010?
I think so. Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, 2010 was... Here's the quarterbacks that McCoy had in Denver. Didn't mean to cut you off. 2010, he had Kyle Orton for 13 games, Tim Tebow for 3. 2011, he had Tim Tebow for 11 games, Kyle Orton for 5, and then Peyton Manning for 16.
That's fun. The thing I think is, when it comes to Mike McCoy, it's just the fact that even though the Chargers were not that good of a team, you look at Phillip Rivers, you look at their wide receivers. That's what they're hoping to get out of. I don't know if it's Paxton Lynch. I don't know if it's Trevor Siemian. I don't know if it's whoever.
I'm assuming it'd be Trevor.
I don't know, man.
I'm assuming it'd be Trevor Siemian day one. That's who I'd put my money on.
They drafted Paxton Lynch for a reason.
But is he going to start? Is it going to be he starts a year 2, or is he a Aaron Rodgers case where I know Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. I get it, but he sat for 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't think Trevor Siemian's the guy that makes that.
Well, Trevor Siemian's not
round
Brett Favre.
Pick. Yeah, exactly. He's not the
Brett
guy
Favre.
who makes the first round pick sit for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean he's not Peyton Manning to Brock the Cock Osweiler.
Of course not. No.
Put the helmet down, kid. I'm still playing with 2 minutes to go in the fourth, and we're up 30.
They need somebody to kneel down. Sit on that damn bench. I'm kneeling.
When that happened, you know what I thought of?
Huh.
Remember the Titans? No, it was Friday Night Lights, the movie where it's like, okay, kid, you're in. And he's like, where's my helmet? Where's my helmet? And then Booby Miles goes, whatever, puts the helmet on, goes in the game. Of course, spoilers, gets injured, but that's what I thought of. Like, Brock Osweiler, where's my helmet? Where is it? Peyton Manning, guess I got to do this
Even
again.
in the Miami game, they were talking about how Matt Moore, was it Matt Moore that didn't get snaps, or were they talking about that when it was actually the Raiders? Connor Cook. Connor Cook never got any snaps.
Yeah, he never got snaps.
Derek Carr wouldn't let him. Well, and it's not even that Derek Carr wouldn't let him.
And he started a playoff team.
Yeah, Derek Carr wouldn't let McGloin take snaps, and therefore
Connor Cook got
nothing. Connor Cook couldn't even practice with the scout team. So it's just one of those situations where I think you let McCoy do his thing, like I wanted Wade Phillips to do. And that makes me honestly feel a little bit better about the Vance Joseph signing in that case. I've come around a little bit on this just because I learned that Mike McCoy's here.
Well, let's answer the question one last time. Will Vance Joseph bring this Broncos defense back to Super Bowl form?
Yes, I think he will. I definitely think he will. The problem is just going to be for the Broncos that you're competing against the Chiefs, you're competing against the Oakland Raiders. It's a tough division.
And the Chargers just made a head coaching move that could make them a little better, although they've got some needs. They've got some needs that they need to hit. I think that the Broncos, of course, they're going to be in this three-dog race next year because I don't see the Chiefs or the Raiders backing down. I'll say this, though, with the hire of Vance Joseph, if he can make that defense just a little bit more sound than it was this year, and that's not asking for a lot, I think this could be a division where next year, you know how I was saying the NFC North has 3 playoff teams?
You said that.
This could be the division. Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos could all make the playoffs next year. And I don't think it's too crazy to say that.
No, I don't think so either. The biggest question for the Broncos is just who's going to be your quarterback and what's that? Because Mike McCoy, I don't think you really get Trevor Siemian to fit the Mike McCoy kind of offense.
You think Paxton Lynch is the guy?
I think Paxton Lynch is going to be able to work that offense a little more.
Well, and this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think about the Vance Joseph hire. What's he going to do with this defense? Is he going to get them back to Super Bowl form? And also, let us know the bonus question of who would your starting quarterback be if you were Vance Joseph and Mike McCoy? Would you start Trevor Siemian or would you go with Paxton Lynch? I know we haven't seen anything from the offseason, but fuck it, I'm going to throw that question at you anyways. But
well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't worry, there is plenty more where that came from. You guys can check it out right over here. Click that video, start watching it, and just stick around on Most Valuable Podcasts.